This episode of the Nerd Corp.
このザナーロコーポレーションポッドキャストはネタバレと汚い言葉があります。再利用をおすすめしますよ。ザナーロコーポレーションへようこそ。
It's Thursday. You know what that means.
Finally start this episode?
Fuck, dude. You put this episode off for like 3 weeks.
Yep.
We definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely need to do.
We're definitely recording.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely record. Definitely eat my asshole. Welcome.
I just counted all the Milky Ways in that bag just now.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 140, See You Space Cowboy. We're going to be talking about Cowboy Bebop. This is a Weed Corporation episode, so we're going to talk about what we feel about it, favorite episodes, things that we like, didn't like, and all that good shit. But first, let's get on with the nerd news.
So, first of all, our thoughts are going out to Katie Seagal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she got hit by a car.
She did.
So is she alive?
Oh yeah, she was taken to the hospital, and in the same news article, which I don't have in front of me, it said that she was going to be released shortly to go home and get on bed rest. And so yeah, she's well enough to leave the hospital.
So Al finally got her.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, hopefully the captain of the Polk High School football team can take care of her.
So let me raise you guys, you fellas and woman, a question, okay?
Nobody got those.
No, I got it. I got it. They were married with children references. I got
It was really quiet.
No.
I'm not familiar with
Right over my head.
Al Bundy.
Yeah, I get Al Bundy. Yeah. So I have a moral question for y'all.
Go on.
So when you tell me celebrity got hit by a car, my immediate response is to laugh, because I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny.
why.
Bonk.
Do you think it makes a different sound when it hits a famous person?
No, it still makes that
the cash register.
When Sonic gets hit and loses all his rings.
Yeah, no, that's only if they cause it.
Oh yeah, that's
I had to learn, or I had to know if she was alive or not.
Yes.
That's the, it seems to be the moral boundaries, because if it's like a Caitlyn Jenner situation where they didn't live, you're not really supposed to laugh at that, even though she's, trying to run to become a governor of California. That's hilarious to me.
I mean, we've had a Terminator.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Not a real life one.
Yeah.
yeah. Not someone that yeeted two fucking or how many was it? It was at least one person.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fucking Jesse Ventura.
And wasn't it drunk driving too?
I have no idea.
I don't think
no?
so.
Okay. But anywho.
We had a Terminator, and now we're gonna have a Sperminator.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. No, dude, could you imagine not only having to deal with the fact that you hit somebody with a car, but then later on to realize, like, in that moment, that it was a fucking celebrity that you fucking hit with a car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna be all over the news.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, there's a degree of funniness to it, just because, like, that person's gonna be okay because they have money. They're gonna have the best the best doctors ever. They're gonna make a full recovery. Besides,
like, do you even need my insurance info? Like, you can take care of this, right?
Like, if Eddie got hit by a car tomorrow,
Walking across the street to the Walmart,
and it just made that bonk, it wouldn't be as funny because he doesn't have the money to pay for it. It'd probably be like a GoFundMe thing, right?
Right.
But as with a celebrity, you get it.
That's fucking...
no. No.
It's
We
stupid.
get it. You're a shitty human being.
It's stupid.
is what-
But it's
what we
fucking
get.
funny.
So my second piece of news is really just that I'm excited we get a season 4 of Doom Patrol.
Yes, they announced season 4. Dude, Doom Patrol's killing it right now.
It's so fucking good. Oh, I
dude.
love Doom
is
Patrol.
so good.
My excuse me. My two brief pieces of news are, the first one is that Ryan Reynolds is going to be taking a break from making movies after this next one.
The Free Guy or whatever.
No,
it's
that's
called.
already
It's been
done.
out for a while.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been out. He's doing one with, let's see, he has a quote here. He says, Spirited, I guess is what it's called. He says that, "That's a wrap for me on Spirited. Not sure I'd have been ready to say yes to a film this challenging 3 years ago. Singing, dancing, and playing in the sandbox with Will Ferrell made a whole lot of dreams come true, and this is my second film with the great Octavia Spencer. Perfect time for a little sabbatical from the movie making. I'm going to miss every second working with this obscenely gifted group of creators and artists. These days, kindness matters as much as talent. I've been lucky to work with folks who are flush with both." But I've never heard anything of this movie.
I have
You know-
the only thing that I
I've heard the title.
I saw him on doing a TikTok. I saw Ryan Reynolds doing that. I can be brown, I could be blue.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
Be violet sky. So he's doing all the different parts or whatever, like the different tones, and then Will Ferrell comes out and he's in like some kind of like weird like period piece suit.
Some weird period suit.
Yeah, some weird red period. And I was like, oh, they're working on a movie together, but I never went in to look
Yeah.
at what it was or whatever.
I mean, if it's got both of them in it, I'm definitely curious.
I'm with it.
My second piece of news is that officially next month, G4 is relaunching. And we are going to get...
Is Xavier Woods the host of that? Isn't he?
Well, it's the channel.
That was bad.
That was a really weird sentence.
That was a bad.
Is not he?
Is not Xavier Woods the man who shows
Charge
the
of
show?
it will be in.
Yeah. Isn't Xavier Woods the host of that?
Well, so G4 is not like G4 is like a channel.
Oh, right.
So they're getting their old TV shows like X-Play, Attack of the Show, and more.
I think he petitioned to be a host on one of those shows.
Well, I wonder if he'll just have his own, make a show out of, the type of thing they do for Up, Up, Down, Down.
Maybe.
But yeah, so Attack of the Show is like what G4 is mostly known for.
Mostly moan.
Mostly moan for it.
Mostly known for.
It's like Nosferatu,
Yeah.
but, a lot hotter. Because moaning. Get it?
I get it.
And then we get X-Play. We get a show called Boosted. It's like a esports comedy series. Ninja Warrior, I guess, is going to be on there.
Oh. I think it was wasn't it on there before?
It was on. There was like the American Ninja Warrior that was on.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what Ninja Warrior was on.
Yeah.
And then let's see, ESL Gaming, and then the one that I'm kind of curious about is this Dungeons and Dragons limited series. So it's gonna have, because Dungeons and Dragons is like hot shit right now. Like,
Yeah.
what's his name? Plays in his basement, Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joe Man.
And then you've got like
Skin Beeble.
Skim Beeble. He does.
Skin Beeble plays D&D.
you've got like Critical Role,
Right.
that's hosted by Matt Mercer, and like everyone that is like a gaming celebrity that has played on that show. This is going to say featuring notable celebrities like Jack Black, Tiffany Haddish, Kevin Smith, and Dr. Lupo. So yeah, they'll continue partnership with Wizards of the Coast to premiere on G4 this fall. So no, it doesn't say like what channel it's going to be, because it's going to be like different for everyone, but it says that it will, I'm trying to find the date here. It just says it will officially launch next month.
Nice.
Oh, November 16th.
Hell yeah.
So that's super exciting because I didn't watch that channel a lot, but like when I'd be browsing, through the cable channels and it would pop up, I'd be like, oh hey, this is cool.
Yeah, that was the same way. Like I never had like cable and shit growing up. So.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said when I be browsing.
When I do be browsing.
When I do be browsing, like, it be popping up and I'll be watching, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's the same way. I never had cable growing up, and so whenever I go to like cousins' houses with like cable and shit.
I feel like not a lot of people have cable now, except for like, people's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had cable for like 3 months when I first moved in here. I never like watched maybe like 2 hours of television.
Yeah.
Like
I have the, what's it called? The little Xfinity streaming box that they give you, but
I have that too.
I hooked it up and I haven't touched it. Yeah.
Dude, I watch that shit all the time because that's where I get my Mystery Science Theater and all of that shit. Like, so it's great for that.
I just use all my other stuff for streaming, so I was like, this is just another streaming box to me.
Another option.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Redbox has an app now?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have like
fuck for.
They have like free movies and stuff on there.
Yeah, like whatever
It's
they're
like Tubi.
kind of. I guess
Are ads?
I don't know.
Or not to be.
That's the question. But
I like calling it Tubby.
That's cuter.
Right?
It's the app for fat people.
Or to make you fat people. Yeah.
It's for the couch potatoes.
Exactly.
watch this episode, Tubby.
Watch this, fat ass. That's their tagline.
Watch this fat ass. Tubi is where I get a lot of my Mystery Science Theater as well, and Riff Tracks.
Yeah, my old smart TV was a Samsung, and they have like their proprietary like Samsung TV, and they had a Riff Tracks channel.
Yeah,
and it was just all the old stuff they did, and then every once in a while it'd be like, hey, here's a live riffing, and I'm like, oh my god,
dude, I'm so excited. So I got tickets for Misty and I to go to the live show, the Mystery Science Theater live show in December. So fucking pumped.
I still need to get those.
Oh right, yeah, dude, it's gonna be a blast.
So Animal Crossing had a direct this past week for 2 new updates. One is free, one is not. The free one includes like quality of life updates and some like minor content, but the paid one adds like a whole new like mechanic to the game. On the Nintendo 3DS, they had a Happy Home Designer game for Animal Crossing, and they're bringing it as paid DLC for New Horizons as Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home in Paradise. And so you get to like design villager homes and stuff, and
that's pretty
it's like it's your job. So you get paid to like do it and stuff. And
that's cool.
And they're also adding 16 new villagers and a bunch of special characters too. So
that's pretty dope.
And that will be coming out on the 5th of November. Yeah. And in the same direct, they announced an upgrade in the Nintendo Live service for GameCube and...
Nope. N64.
Sorry, N64 and
Sega.
And I think it's $20 more.
This is an insane
$50
jump,
a year,
bro. For a single, and it's $80 for a family,
that's the only price they gave us so far. Like they didn't give us any monthly.
They did. It's $8 monthly.
Oh well, that's because I saw was
not terrible, but it's mostly it's that family jump is fucking gnarly to me, because I was paying $50 to have it for a year, right? So $50 for a singular plan a year doesn't seem really like that bad of a that doesn't seem bad at all to me. But the $80 a year for a family plan seems a little.
But that's for it's 8 people, isn't it?
5.
It's for 5 people. Okay, but if you times 5 by 50, you're.
Well, yeah, but that's not what's going on with my situation, and that's the one that counts.
Well, yeah, it's not like the kids are chipping in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The animals don't pay for shit over there, apparently.
Right?
You'd be surprised how often he tells the cats and dogs that they need to start paying rent.
Get a job.
Dude, I walk around, I walk by Nuka, and I'm like, when are you gonna start pitching in here?
Excuse me. I am white. I'm almost 30 years old. I work a job that does not fucking respect me at all. Of course I'm going to say these things to my enemies. Of course I'm going to say these things. I'm an oppressed, middle-aged white man.
Are you oppressed?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, he's suffering from oppression.
All you had to do was say that you were white, and it would have justified
I
you
know.
talking to
I
you.
know. That's why I put that at the forefront.
Yeah.
Because so if anybody listening was...
Well, I mean, that's all you could have said instead of all that fucking
Like, I'm white. That's it.
fucking long-winded ass shit.
Yes,
Anyway,
I'm racist.
I can say that I'm racist.
Say that, he's Semitic.
That was always such a funny phrase, too.
Yeah.
Reverse racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called racism.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Anyway,
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Metroid Dread for a minute. Nintendo basically just did this alien thing. Like, that's really all Metroid is just Ridley Scott's Alien, but in a Nintendo game. And I think it's really cool. It's hard as fuck.
Is it?
Like, really, really hard. Like, I have to, like, pause. I just barely got done with this one boss that I was on for a while. Because I got to the point where I had to, like, pause in the middle of the boss fight to, like, let my hands from cramping as much as they were. Because it fucking... Like, you mash the B button to fire a Samus, and, like, it, you fire as much as you press. You know? So it's a fucking cool-ass game. And it's got really bad load times. Like, whenever you're loading into a new area, it's like a solid minute load. And I'm like, I don't really know what this game is doing to
require
that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what's going on mechanically.
Interesting.
But
I can't remember who I was watching, but I was over at my buddy Neil's house, and we were just watching a guy on Twitch play it. Metroid Dread, and then we found the first guy that was playing it, and it looked pretty cool. I made a comment to him. I was like, I kind of wish that when you went into a new room, it did the old Metroid, like the tube moved over, Yeah. That would have been kind of cool. But I mean, I think it looks pretty cool just from what I've been watching people play.
I was super interested in it when I saw the gameplay, like when when they announced it and everything. But because I've never played a Metroid game.
Yeah.
I never have. But it looked really interesting. I still want to get up on Diablo 2 though, if anybody wants to. Like, I haven't bought it yet because I don't know what system to buy it on, depending on if anyone else is gonna grab it. It's so fucking good though.
I'm probably not gonna.
I played the beta and I was just kind of like,
I love Diablo 2. Like, that was the first major computer game. Like, as an adult, that was the first major computer game I started playing.
So the big news that I wanted to touch on was DC Fandom.
Yeah.
Boy, DC came out swinging.
Big dick swinging.
Mighty dick.
Everyone thought that DC just had this kind of small, average penis, and then they were just like, hold on.
Like, uninspired.
That's the sound of it hitting
what
the table.
People thought.
Yeah.
I would have described it as chode-like.
Shriveled, maybe?
It's
Shrinkage!
But I was going to say, maybe they had been in the pool.
Yeah.
For how many years?
Many, many years.
Yeah.
Because now... I mean, it'll just be embarrassing if all these things come out and they're fucking terrible. But
that's what we were talking about before we started, was the fact that, like, all of these things look amazing, but if they all come out to be trash, like...
I mean, to be fair, though, a lot of the things that have come out that were trash looked like they were going to be trash.
Anyway, so we got a first look at Black Adam.
Like, that was a very teaser-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
it was...
Very in production look to it.
Yeah. But I mean, it has a lot of promise. I did not know that Pierce Brosnan was Dr. Fate, and I'm all about it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that announced somewhere, and I was like, because at first I was like, The Rock is okay, whatever. Like, he's a big guy. I mean, I guess it fits. And then I saw that, and I was like, okay, the best James Bond. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm with it. We also got Grant Gustin talking about the next season of The Flash. So he just kind of discussed playing father to his two kids, because his two kids from the future came back, and so now they're part of the new season or whatever. But the Flash suit is going to be getting its upgrade. They're adding the gold boots.
For are you talking Grant Gustin's or are you talking...
Yeah, Grant Gustin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're going to be adding the golden boots that he has, which is like the only thing that he doesn't have
Right.
left on the suit. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was announced.
Is that the one that has Amber Heard in it still?
I think so.
Pass.
Yeah.
She's in more than just the second one?
Yeah, she was in the first one.
Well, I mean, like, I noticed that the second one's coming out and she's in it, but
Right.
she's also in... Or is that the extended title to Aquaman 2?
The one with Amber Heard in it.
Yeah.
So,
and
Aquaman 2, The Whatever Kingdom.
Yeah.
This isn't like a separate TV series.
No.
Okay. I thought it was like separately titled because I thought the other one was just Aquaman 2.
Yeah. It's Jason Momoa's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Okay.
It comes out December 16th, 2022. Black Adam comes out July 29th, 2022. DC's Milestone Initiative. It's a new partnership with Ally. Says
Allied Security?
Yeah.
How is Black Adam at its state coming out before Aquaman?
No idea.
Because the first Aquaman, it's been a minute.
So this new next generation of DC is a new venture created to develop the next generation of comic book artists, writers, colorists, editors, and more. So that looks pretty cool. We got a trailer to Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that game looks rad.
This is
shit.
Rocksteady.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is Rocksteady. So
Right.
this is the big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks amazing.
No doubt this game's gonna be great, dude.
It looks rad as fuck.
Whatever they're doing, I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Yeah, Rocksteady's usually super on
Rocksteady.
point. Yeah.
I really want them to bring that. It wasn't part of the trilogy of Arkham games, but it what was it called? It had Deathstroke in it.
Oh, Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
That game was fucking dope.
That Deathstroke fight is one of the greatest, like,
It's
Batman
so
fights.
good.
It totally is getting shifted though. Like they don't pay any attention to that game at all because it wasn't made by Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way to play that game outside of what was it on? Was it on the 360?
It was, yeah.
I think it
And
might even have been on the
PS3.
Wii U too. But like that game was really fucking good. And
I'm pretty sure I have it on Steam.
it might be on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I'd want to buy it on Steam. Because I want to own that game, dude. That game is just as good as the Arkham games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And it wasn't even made by Rocksteady. This Suicide Squad game, I'm interested. We still don't have gameplay, though, huh?
No, it's
No.
all been cinematic so far. And that's what worries me, too.
Do they have a date on it yet?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
I'm going to buy that bitch, dude.
How much is it?
It's probably only like $20.
I was just looking at my library, but I'll check.
There's no release date for it. At least
Okay,
not
okay.
from what this article
So
Good.
said.
that's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's
$4.99 right now.
What?
$4.99 right now?
It's off of $20.
Hell yeah. Dude.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
I bet you they're all on sale because of Fandom.
I do still need to get me a controller.
I bet it plays like shit, too. Because that was like.
I don't
one
know.
of the-
Last time I played it's been a while, and I've only have like 7.5 hours on it.
Did
but-
you remember when Arkham City came out
And it
on
was
PC?
It was a
Or
mess.
no, it was Arkham Knight.
It was a mess.
Like horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yeah.
I have
just
that on.
saw-
I have that on like both Steam and Epic Games because it was a free Epic game once, and
Yeah.
I haven't even tried it on PC. I'm sure it's all right now.
It's funny. I just saw a video. Actually, today it was one of the first things that I saw this morning when I woke up, and it was an 8-minute video of Arkham Knight just riddled with mods.
Yeah.
It's just like modded out, and like even the title was like Arkham Knight, but ruined by mods.
Yeah.
Dude, there is so much DLC for that fucking game. Like if you ever have all the free stuff and you re-download it, it's like stuff's gonna keep popping up like saying downloaded for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I just re-downloaded it. And
like all your like suits and everything.
like all the skins for the
free
Batmobile.
it's the one where you play as Red Hood, as Nightwing, and Harley
challenges.
Quinn.
Yep. Our Arkham City stories.
So I downloaded and started playing Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't played that one in a minute.
Yeah.
That's the one with the xenomorph in it.
Yeah. We got Peacemaker trailer.
I gotta tell you, dude, after The Boys, this shit just doesn't hit at all.
And I mean, like, John Cena's great, but like,
John Cena.
I don't understand how you center a series around someone that odious and just shitty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they will do just fine, but I just don't necessarily see myself being super into it.
Yeah.
Apart for the lulls, you know.
I'm not really interested in this movie at all. Or show, I guess it's a TV show.
Right.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon for this character too. We literally just saw this character.
Yeah.
Like we need to not necessarily sunset him, but like we need some space from these characters to learn and love.
Right.
Learn to love these characters. That's why when I saw him I was like, oh.
Already?
What is this, like deleted scenes from Suicide Squad? Like, you know what I mean? Like it just feels too early. It feels too early to see him.
Like the announcement came that he was doing that like right after the movie came out too.
Seemed like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have done a Ratcatcher 2 series.
And I find it weird that they're making it a comedy series too, because really, Peacemaker, the guy who's willing to viciously murder anyone who, in his perception, gets in the way of making the world a safer place, is funny?
Well, he was in Suicide Squad.
I mean,
Until
yeah,
the end.
but I just mean, like, I just don't see how long term you do justice to a character that dark by making it that ridiculously silly. That I don't know.
We got a sneak peek at Flash. Ezra Miller came out in some weird choker thing. And it was like, hey guys, let's look at the Flash.
That was John Lennon.
John Lennon and
You
Woody
didn't
Allen.
see Yoko Ono in the background?
I guess, I don't know.
Doing her weird
Okay.
scream song.
Dude, Keaton Batman is that's like mostly got me. I love the Flash. The Flash is one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. But the fact that Keaton's Batman's going to be in there, and the fact, and he's like uncovering Keaton's Batmobile, fucking boner.
It's making me wonder too, because that first shot of Keaton's Cal you get, there's like blood on it, and it's on the ground.
Yeah,
and then it goes to him like, I'm assuming he was when he's walking into that shot from behind. I'm assuming it was in the Batcave. Comes walking out, and you see the tall ears, and you're just like, oh,
good boy.
Well,
good
and
boy.
I just really like that it appears that Flash is wearing a different suit. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was just maybe one of the other iterations of Flash that he runs into.
I think so too.
But I really hope they give Ezra a different suit. I fucking hate the current suit so much. It looks so bulky and unwieldy. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Right, no.
Yeah, because Grant Gustin's is just like a leather costume.
Yeah, it's like sleek.
Yeah.
And why would you have a speedster in this chunky, bulky costume?
Yeah,
I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, it's like wearing a tank.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, maybe the suit does something for him, because
maybe it does.
in the Justice League, the extended one, like when he's running to go back in time, he's like shooting off like currents. So I don't know, maybe the suit does that for him.
Yeah,
Maybe that's their reasoning.
And I get that. Like, I mean, we don't. They never give any sort of explanation for it.
They don't. Yeah.
But regardless, I mean, I just don't like the look of it.
Doesn't make it any better, but
yeah, I just really don't like the look of it. A personal preference, but whatever.
We got the announcement for a Sandman television show with Netflix.
Well,
The
I
goat.
mean, that had already been announced. Like, I already knew about that.
Did you see that we're getting what's her name's Lucifer?
Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie plays Lucifer Morningstar
Hell yeah.
in the Sandman Netflix series. So.
Of all the stuff that's coming out that may or may not suck, that cannot
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, if the Sandman bombs, dude,
Then that's it.
Oh yeah.
we got it's a Injustice movie. It's an animated film. It's just coming to digital 4K Blu-ray. It's inspired by the Injustice Year One comic series. Smallville's Justin Hartley as Superman.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Star
Because
Trek.
wasn't he Green Arrow?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah. Star Trek Discovery's Anson Mount as Batman. Ed Boon as a Ed Boon consulted. So that's dope.
That is dope.
Yeah. So we're looking out for that. We were given insight into Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah.
And the all Latinx team promised a highly authentic vision of the Latin American superhero that's fun and humorous, but also rich with feelings.
Nice.
That's fucking dope.
That's cool.
We gotta look at Blue Beetle's suit in the film.
I don't know if you're coming up on it, but I read somewhere that there's like going to be an animated Smallville something or other.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. We got another Gotham Knights trailer. We got the Court of Owls,
Yeah.
which looks fucking amazing.
It does.
They announced the next episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow is going to be its 100th episode.
So, speaking in a cameo to a fan, Tom Welling revealed there is an animated revival of the beloved show Smallville in the works.
Huh.
Think they'll bring back that one Allison Mack?
Oh God, I hope not.
And it's apparently going to be a show, obviously, but
I wonder what they'll do with that. I mean, like what their plans are.
Yeah.
I can't find anything else on it just besides him saying that there's something happening. So
Something's happening.
Yeah, no, DC Fandom really brought out a lot of crazy things, but like the craziest I think was the Batman main trailer.
Yeah.
Dude. Seeing Paul Dano's Riddler, seeing, what is her name that plays Catwoman?
Oh, I have no idea.
Selena Kyle is the name of the character. It's Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, that's right. Seeing Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was dope. The fact that the Batmobile is just some fast-ass muscle car, I think really...
Shut up, Fast and the Furious fan.
I
know where you're at.
You know what,
Shut
though?
up.
You know what, though? I don't mind it
Still
either
love
because,
American
I mean,
muscle.
we've gotten every fanciful, ridiculous iteration of the Batmobile.
It's nice to switch it up.
Yeah, it's nice to just okay, it's just a fucking car. Cool, let's move on.
Yeah.
Like I'm down.
Oh,
with
muscle
it.
car makes more sense too because it's a fucking muscle car. Like that thing is.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's gonna be bursting through fucking buildings and shit like we actually see. Not a fucking Porsche, dude.
Yeah.
as long as it's not just a fucking muscle car.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
it's
gotta
gotta
be-
have
Like
There
gadgets.
need to
Yeah.
be enhancements.
Yeah,
I'm sure
obviously.
there will be.
enhanced.
There's an ejecto
Enhance.
Cedo, cuz.
Ejectocito, cuz!
But yeah, no, it was a sick trailer. And of course, the best part of the trailer, not actually the best part, but was just the bit where Riddler says he's been trying to reach him.
Yeah, I've been trying to reach.
That was a Cars Extended War.
Well, yeah, because everyone thought it. The second he said that, everyone thought it, and I'm sure that was intentional, which is hilarious because Brady Andrew Flanagan on the Nerd Corp Facebook page actually went ahead and memed it and everything, so that was great.
I really hope that they just showed part of that, and at one point he goes, "I've been trying to reach you about your Batmobile's extended warranty."
Well, and it's like, I responded to Brady on the page, and I said that must have been intentional. There's no way
absolutely.
they put that line in the movie accidentally. Like,
Right.
that had to be for the memes. Because, I mean, obviously that's the way to get shit spread around and go viral now.
Absolutely. That was DC Fandom, and holy shit. Well, I hope that... Just give me the movies and the video games, fine. TV shows and all that other shit, fine, whatever. But, like, just give DC fucking... Pull your finger out of your ass.
Whoa.
Pull your finger out of Zack Snyder's ass.
I'm like,
because
help
he's
you on
terrible.
the edge.
Easy there, sweetheart.
Zack Snyder shouldn't touch superhero movies, in my opinion.
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder's a director.
Zack Snyder's a stapler.
Welcome to Fandom, bitch.
So before we get into the subject of the hour, if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We want to get to as many nerdy ears as possible, and that is the best way to do that. But now, we talk about Cowboy Bebop. This is only my second watch through of the series, so everything was still super new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that show holds up.
Yes. Ooh. Spooky.
Just hear Coldplay start playing.
Yeah.
In the room.
Your skin. No.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah, no, that show fucking holds up, man.
So this is actually my first time watching it, and I did get through all of it, of course. I thought it was like forever fucking long, and then I realized
And it's only like 26 episodes.
Well, no, because I looked at how many episodes there were. I just forgot to factor in
The subs
the
and
fact
the dubs.
that it was subs and dubs that it was showing. I was like,
oh, so you were
Jesus.
seeing double. So
Yeah, I
you
was
saw
like- So, like, it said, like, there were 60 or 50,
Yeah.
whatever.
56.
56. And I was like, good God! And then I was like, oh, okay. All right.
No, but it was definitely... It's super crazy to think that it was made in 1998.
Yep.
Because it just feels current.
So what's really interesting about Bebop is I was watching this video on YouTube about it, and it's kind of interesting because it turned out as good as it did because it really struggled to get off the ground. So originally what happened was Shinichiro Watanabe, who was the director of this, and Samurai Champloo, and a couple of other ones that I can't really remember. But
Samurai Champloo's my jam.
Oh yeah, no, that show fucking rocks, dude. It and Bebop share the same cadence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it all feels the same. But so basically, what happened is that Bandai Namco came to Watanabe and was like, "Hey, make us an anime that we can sell spaceships. We want to sell space toys, like spaceship toys, to everybody. Like they wanted to get on that Gundam hype, right?
In Japan specifically.
In Japan specifically, which I'm pretty sure Bandai Namco already owns Gundam, so I'm sure they just wanted another piece. So what had happened was Watanabe came in and had like all these designs and everything of these ships that were just beat to shit, and like had that old timey like Star Wars feel where everything was like worn, futuristic, like the spaceships just look like hell, and the Bandai Namco was like, yeah, fuck you, we're not doing that, we can't sell these, we can't sell a toy like this, which is hilarious because they fucking did, like
Right.
it very obviously became a insanely prolific anime that sold, you know what I mean, like, so their loss. But it's just kind of funny because and I can't remember what else he said about how they got funding and everything, but Bebop's kind of the one show that I consider perfect, like in almost every way, because I can't find a single flaw. Of course, you can like nitpick like the story structure and everything. You can nitpick the animation if you want, because it's there, man. I noticed a lot this watch through. There There's some craziness.
I mean, the only thing that I really like nitpicked about was the fact that, like, at least on screen that we see, these motherfuckers are never completing bounties, like, ever.
Well, that's part of the charm. That's part
But,
of
like,
the charm.
how are they
though.
getting money to continue and to, like, I know that they're, like, obviously a fair portion of the series they're struggling to eat and make ends meet and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, bro, you haven't completed a bounty in like 9 episodes. How are you fucking alive still? But like, again, super nitpicky. It was just funny.
That's part of the charm for me.
No,
That's
No,
totally
it
part of the
is.
charm, and
is.
not only that, but it opens the door for interpretation.
Yeah.
Because they open up the episode and they're still cooking, bell peppers and beef with no beef.
Right.
They're very obviously still getting money somehow.
Right.
And the way that I see the Jet character is that he's very money savvy. He's probably got his hands in all sorts of different things,
Mm-hmm.
And I just like that it leaves it open for interpretation.
Yeah.
That, like, yeah, of course Spike's gonna go do some shit over here, get a little bit of money so they can buy food. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, there are all sorts of things that are very intentionally left to just figure it out, or there's you don't need an explanation. Just know that things are fine. Like the one episode where they all got infected with that shit, and they're all like dying, and then no, we're good. We're back. Next episode, now everything's cool.
Yeah, Toys in the Attic is one of my favorite episodes.
It was really cool.
It's just because, well, it's very obviously inspired by aliens.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, I finished watching that one and went right on to the next episode. And went, did I fucking miss something? So I paused it and Googled it, and everyone's like, no, they never explain it. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
Okay. It feels like that was a very 90s sitcom thing to do. Yeah. Where it was like, here's, an episode with a lot of plot in it, and then we're going to give you, like, the next, like, 5 weeks are going to be nothing but, Monster of the Week's style storytelling.
It's almost like every episode is like its own timeline. Like they were infected, and then the next one they're like, oh, hey, so...
It's really interesting because, like, apart from the characters and, like, the major historical event that sort of has them emotionally frozen in time, apart from that, and, like, the little breadcrumbs of those that come up throughout the series... Apart from, like, that stuff, everything else is self-contained. Like, every single episode, everything in that episode is one self-contained story. You move on. None of that's ever mentioned again. Completely new story. Here we go.
It's like an anthology series.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what's so fucking cool about
it was,
me.
Like, it was trippy to get used to,
Yeah. Well, that's why I love it so much, is because it feels like we're just popping in. Like, it feels like we're popping in for an adventure with these people. Right. And that's...
Like, some time goes by.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? We don't talk about what the time that goes by. We just kind of pop in whenever some big shit happens.
Yeah, and speaking on leaving it open for interpretation, the ending that we'll get to eventually, spoilers and all that. But, like, I feel like it's pretty open on whether or not, like, what you want to believe in. Yeah. Like, if you wanted to believe that character is still alive at the end, like, you definitely could. Right. But... like, I have my own personal timeline where it's like, the movie happens, right? Mm-hmm. There's a movie called Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is fucking awesome, by the way. And you should, if you loved the series, you should definitely watch the movie. Okay. But, because it's just nothing but that animation where they went, like, buck wild on the budget for the animation, and it's just, like, all the fucking... There's a fight scene between Spike and a woman and a mop. And it's fucking awesome, dude. That's cool. But, like, I just like to think that, like, these characters just, like, exist. Right. In memoriam. You know what I mean? Like, they just continue going on adventures and everything, regardless of the ending.
Mm-hmm. I've been trying to think and, like, look it up, and it's jumped in my mind, but I think it's in, like, the first or second. It's very early on in the series, but it's like the bartender, he's, like, yelling, he's like... trying to make Bloody Marys or something, but we don't have any vodka or something like that.
Yeah, it's a password that these like drug dealers have with like their patrons
for the red eye.
Yeah. So they say I'll have a Bloody Mary, and then like whoever's buying it from them will be like, I don't have vodka or I don't have beer. And then they say, well, let's go look in the back. I'm sure you have some. And then that's when they make the deal.
I've always thought that was just really cool how they came up with that.
Yeah.
What a stellar fucking first episode, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's... What an introduction to these characters, to this setting, to this... You know what I mean? Like, to this lore. Everything about that first episode is so fucking awesome. From all of the dog fights and everything in the gunships and everything, and then with the fucking fight scenes with the poncho and everything. Like, god damn, you really, and the fucking music, man. Yoko Kanno needs no introduction, but fucking the what is it, like, what kind of, like, the spastic jazz that they have going on.
It's just this like
Jazztic.
It's almost like action jazz. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
fucking good, dude.
I really enjoyed the music. Was probably the biggest thing for me,
Which is a big thing for Watanabe.
Yeah, and I love, and I mean, even just like the opening scene and Real Folk Blues at the end.
Oh yeah,
dude, like, it's just so iconic to me. It feels like without that music, we'd be missing that charm.
So, well, that's one of the things for me that was a huge difference between Neon Genesis Evangelion and this show, was that, I mean, they both deal with heavy emotional burden type shit, right?
Philosophy, yeah.
But this one has so much charm to it, and Neon Genesis Evangelion, I felt, was just like bludgeoning you over the head with sadness, and this one, there's funny stuff, it's just much more well-rounded in my opinion, and where Neon Genesis Evangelion was, for me, kind of a slog to get through. Like, I had a great time watching this.
No, it's a fun watch for sure. However, there are those really heavy episodes that are like, oh my gosh.
Yes, there are.
I feel like that's the staying power of Bebop, is the fact that it transcends that weird uncomfortableness that you have with anime, because it's so weird and they have their own culture, and like when you're not part of that culture, it feels really weird and isolating and alienating, you know. So it's like Bebop does really well to tread on both sides, where honestly I feel like this is like comfort for me, the same way like the old Star Wars movies are,
Right.
like where it just feels like it just has this aura of perfectness around it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, this is like anime chicken soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's an easy watch for sure.
And it doesn't hurt that it probably has the best dub in like anime history, like easily. Like there are die-hard Bebop fans that swear the dub is better than the sub. And I don't know if I'd go that far. You know, maybe pump the brakes a little bit. The sub is really good, but the dub is so fucking good with Steve Bloom as Spike, and
Well, they put like a lot of like care into it because they wanted it to be popular in the West too.
they wanted it to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the
Do you think Spike is the inspiration for what's his bucket, the AEW guy with his hands in his pockets all the time?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. Do you think Spike is the inspiration for Orange Cassidy?
I'm sure Orange Cassidy took some inspiration.
Because like I feel he has that very like
mellow,
but like he's mellow because he's too cool for everything going on. Like he's just.
But
really,
he gets down.
Yeah, he's just really chill, but when shit goes down, he's like, you know, and then just back to, whatever. Just like this emotional detachment. And like, I totally saw parallels between Orange Cassidy and Spike.
Yeah, I can see him. I can definitely see him. Who were your guys' favorite characters out of the main cast?
I love Ed more than
I love Ed so
anything
much.
in this world.
I kind of figured that you were an Ed person.
And there was a big chunk of time where Cole and I were playing around with the idea of adopting a corgi and naming it Ein. So yeah, Ed and Ein are very near and dear to my heart.
I love Jet. Jet is probably the character I related to the most.
I could see that.
Because, like, he's just like that dude that likes to keep everything mellow, likes to try to just keep the peace, and he's just kind of...
everything moving.
Yeah, he's the guy that just kind of keeps the cogs in motion.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like my family life, and then here in the podcast and stuff, like, I feel like I'm the Jet. You know what I mean? So I totally like related to Jet.
I'm the Ein. I just hang out and eat food.
How are your guys' feelings about Faye?
I mean, I like Faye a lot.
That's who I was gonna say was who I liked.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time like relating to Faye because she's such a tragic character.
Yeah.
Just like her whole like overall like story is just like.
So let's work through this, because you tried explaining this to me at home, and nothing really clicked for me. So what?
I wasn't gonna go there.
So what is your problem with Faye?
I just said.
Dummy.
Why you gotta just derail her fucking...
No, I'm not. I just don't, like, I don't understand. Why don't you like Faye?
It's not that I don't like her. I just can't relate to her.
Like, at all?
No, like, she's like that person who you, like, work with, who's always saying, like, all the bad things that's, like, going on in their lives. And you're just like, oh, man, like, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, like, if you need...
So she's self-centered?
No. It's just that, like, I don't have anything in common with her because she has such a tragic backstory.
So she's a downer.
Kinda, yeah. She's kind of a bummer to be around.
No, I agree.
She's a Faye fuck my life.
Yeah, right. But like at the same time, though, she tries to put on that hard exterior.
Yeah.
Like she'll talk about shit, but then she's like, well, fuck you, like nothing's gonna get through to me. You ain't gonna affect my emotions. Like
the Faye dynamic in this show is probably like my favorite part, like my favorite dynamic of the show, where she's just always like, well, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out, but, like, always finds an excuse to come
Yeah.
back. Well, I mean, if they're saying that kind of thing about me, I'm just going to come back.
That's because she's trying to find where she belongs.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, no, like, that's why I like it so much, is because she
always comes back home.
Right, because she realizes that this is her tribe. But she's
she's got that attachment.
But she's so afraid of being hurt or being taken advantage of that she losing it that she decides to run away from it herself, then realizing that she can't because she's grown such an attachment to him. I think that's one of the super cool dynamics. What about people outside of the main cast?
So real quick, and I know I might get some hate for this. I don't understand the love for Ein.
I mean,
It's
he's a
just-
dog.
He's just there.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
He's just there. He's just there.
Boo.
Like I like.
You're
Ein.
like
Shut
Ben
Bad
on
opinion
Parks and
alert.
Recreation. Like, what's the big deal with little Sebastian? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, boo.
Yeah, that was
that's-
a really good comparison.
That's my Ben moment.
Bad opinion alert.
Well, no, look, I
I
don't.
tip my hat at
I don't
you, sir.
I don't dislike Ein.
Bad opinion cited, rejected.
I'm actually gonna side with Derek.
Like he's just there.
He's just like he could easily be.
He's a
taken...
fucking dog. What do you want him to do?
Well,
He's a data dog and he's special somehow.
He's a dog.
Yeah, no, they put so much emphasis on the dog being so important, and then the rest of the series he doesn't do shit.
Exactly.
What would you like him to do?
Be a fucking data dog, whatever the fuck that is.
He's a dog.
He's highly intelligent.
He's a
apparently.
dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Right, which is what I'm saying.
With no opposable thumbs,
there's
no vocal
there's
cords.
no
What would you
problem.
like? What would you like him to do, Eddie?
They
What would you
experimented-
like him to do?
They experimented
Do
on
whatever
him. They
the
could have
fucking
given him a
dog
vocal
does.
cord.
He's a
whatever-
dog.
Do whatever.
He's a dog.
Why? Then why the importance? Why the big importance? Why not just introduce
Yeah,
me?
Because
why
he's
not
a
just-
dog.
Why not just say, "Oh, cool, a dog"?
Yeah,
like that.
fucking
He's
right.
He's like the mascot of,
Right,
of
right.
the group.
And I get
You know?
that. No, I get that. I'm just saying, like he was touted.
Motherfucker over here wants him to win a fucking
Like-
gold medal
like
or something.
They made him out to be like the person who brings balance to the fucking force
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Like where?
And then he's just hanging out like a goddamn
in the
Ewok.
episode that they introduced him in.
With one episode of 26 episodes,
Right, and then he
where
doesn't
it
do shit.
introduces the dog as
As
an
this-
experimental dog, and
And
that's
It's a
it.
big fucking deal.
That people were
That
looking.
everybody's
there was a whole
after.
episode of people after the dog.
Yeah, and so instead they picked the dog up out of that situation and just said, "You're our dog now."
Now you're the Bebop dog.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. That's fine.
I just don't know what else. What like
But
what
I'm
else
just saying,
more do you want?
I'm just saying, like he could have been. He couldn't have been like he could have been not a part of the
Any story.
of the cast, and we'd still have the same
do,
Bebop.
do me a favor, will you?
What?
Get a dog. Get a dog. And watch your expectations just fucking fall apart, okay?
There's a dog in Far Cry 6 that doesn't really do anything, and it's like one of
If
the
you-
biggest characters.
If you point your gun at it, it will play dead.
I'm sure
Is
I
this-
would do
That's
that.
more than I ever did.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
You guys are just
I'm
dog
not-
haters.
Like I'm not hating. I don't hate Ein. I like Ein. He's fine. He's just
I just wish that he had done what he was supposed to do as this crazy data dog.
yeah.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I was saying.
That's all. We just want you to we just want you to perform miraculous acts.
It's
That
a
you're not-
cartoon!
That you're not fucking.
He
that you're
can
not,
do
that
whatever
you're not,
they want him
that
to
you're
do.
not
They could have
mentally or
animated-
I want
physically
you to
capable
take
of
a
doing.
step back from that argument that you're having right now. Did you just hear what Derek just said?
What did he say?
He said it's a cartoon.
They can make him do whatever
Well-
they want.
Well,
They could have. They like
that's
one of the experiments.
That's why Derek is fundamentally wrong.
Look, one of the experiments these scientists could have done is stick a data port in this motherfucking dog and then just connect him to shit and have him
And
do stuff.
now we're
See?
talking about bestiality. You see where we're going here?
I mean, maybe you are. That's
Yeah,
not
I was
what
just
I'm
gonna say,
saying.
I was like, you brought
Oh, you're like over here making fisting gestures.
From my side.
No, you were going like this, motherfucker. Don't even try, bitch. I fucking saw.
Look,
I
he's-
got eyes in my fucking
You saw what
head.
you wanted.
He is so mad that you insulted Ein that he would go as far as to say you wanted to shove your fist up the dog's ass to make you look bad.
Hey man,
Exactly.
I just pay attention to gestures, man.
Anyways, so two of my favorite characters that are outside of the main cast are the two folks on like the bounty hunter network that are like
yes.
that are like, hey, you guys should go hunt for this person because they're worth this much, and it's all like
So
cute
I
and gimmicky.
I absolutely loved, you know, and I'm sure we'll get to it, but I absolutely loved when they shut it down, and you have that moment of him meeting with his mom in the airport. Like that was so sad and adorable at the same time.
My favorite outside character was Andy. I think Andy was hilarious. Like, just the fact that he like, because, what was it, Teddy Bomber or whatever, that's what they were looking for. And he was just like, I never want to get caught by you or Andy. And he was like, who the fuck's Andy?
Yeah.
And the dude comes out and he's just like this crazy cowboy in this like regalia and always gets the shit wrong.
See, Teddy Bomber was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, just, you know, that classic trope of a guy trying to be taken seriously, and these two motherfuckers are, like, duking it out over who gets to arrest him or whatever. Like, paying zero attention to him, like, while he's like, I'm gonna blow this shit up now. Are you fucking serious?
Hang on 1 second.
Like what? Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna
that
let
was
you finish.
Yeah.
exactly. That was so great. I fucking loved that character.
I'm gonna let you finish, but right now I'm gonna take you in.
Just that impotent rage. That,
That is perfect. Impotent rage. I like that. Yeah.
Whenever I hear impotent rage, I just think of the fictional superhero on all the GTA 5 TVs. He's like the
impotent rage.
superhero that can't get it up or whatever.
The other person who I really liked was Mad Piero, the assassin that beats the absolute shit out of Spike.
Yeah, it really showed his like humanity in that sense.
Yeah, like he was just, I don't know, he was just really cool because, I mean, from the very beginning, like you kind of just knew he was just a thoughtless killing machine, you know, like there wasn't, you know, of course there's more to it, but like there wasn't any sort of deep thought process going on to what he was doing. He was just like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I like Vicious. I like Vicious a lot as a character.
Vicious is a good character.
I feel like he's pretty, like, an understated character, but, like, his presence is known, like, everywhere he goes. Like, you always know when he's in the scene and everything. You know what I mean? Like, he's just kind of a scary fucking dude. And so mysterious, because, like, you know that him and Spike have some kind of...
Yeah.
Like, some kind of relationship. That's why, like, all the fight scenes have, like, this kind of... not gravity.
Gravitas?
No, gravity is what I'm looking for. It's heavy. Like, the scenes are heavy because you know that there's history there between those two characters.
Right, they really play into, like, that. Like, they really try to emphasize the importance of this scene or this episode with Vicious in it.
Well, not only that, but I have a great deal of respect for this. Almost, it seems like a mantra with this series where it's like, we want to understate everything. Like, we want to just, like, give breadcrumbs towards little things that, and, like, let the viewer create their own, you know what I mean? Like, their own interpretation.
Right.
So everyone has their own, I don't know, it's all over. It's all over this series.
Well, and it's not even until toward the end when we get the entire story on what had happened in the past with Vicious either. So, like, you were kind of left to, you know, kind of figure out on your own if you wanted to, you know.
Well, you kind of saw that a lot with anime in the 90s.
Right.
Like, especially, like, you know, Evangelion did the same thing where it was like, hey, this is super popular. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, we don't really have, like, a long-term structure in terms of storytelling. I guess we'll just wing it. And I'm sure that, like, the majority of the Spike and Julia and Vicious stuff, like, I'm pretty sure all of that was, like, you know, mostly written and then started throwing, like, little things in there.
Yeah.
But, like, the Monster of the Week style of this show just kind of makes me think that, like, okay, we're just kind of winging it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Watanabe wanted to make us, like, a space pirate bounty hunter show where he could just be... like, very obviously inspired by Star Wars. Like Star Wars is all over this. Even
so, it was still fun to just not know and be able to kind of guess through, like, what maybe was going on, what happened back, you know. It was kind of fun just to have those open options of trying to kind of figure out what happened.
Well, I love that feeling of, like, hey, it's 2071. We have 50 years of, you know, history that has happened and that we have no idea. Like, somehow mankind made this, and, you know, this was in the 90s, so obviously that was, what is that, 80 years in the future? So it's like, all this shit was really cool back then, and it's just crazy to me that it's so cool now still. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nick?
It's funny, because I was actually, when you asked the question, I was actually thinking, I was trying to think of the bounty hunter people, like, specifically, and then you brought it up.
They have names, but
I
I
can't
what they are.
for the life of me remember them. But I I did enjoy them, and then it's funny because after she said that, I'm like, okay, racking my brain, who else did I like? And then Vicious was the next one that came up. So if I had to pick, like, I would pick those two personally.
There's a lot of really great side characters.
Yeah.
Man. Like there's the heavy metal queen.
There's the 3 old dudes.
The 3 old dudes that
Those-
are
I was gonna
reoccurring
mention them.
characters.
Oh, yeah, the Queen.
They were
The
my
heavy metal
favorite.
queen
Yeah.
episode, which was really fucking good. I liked it's a weird fucking episode, but it's the one with all the monkeys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? With the
Mm-hmm.
that was such a I was like halfway. I've seen that episode so many times, but I was like halfway falling asleep during this last watch through of this episode. What a fever dream of an episode. Fucking
It does
weird,
have
dude.
that weird, like,
etherealness.
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Speaking of fever dreams, my favorite episode was the episode called Mushroom Samba, where Ed and Ein go out scavenging for food, and they bring back the gruesome mushrooms, and they all trip balls.
Yeah. That
So-
was great.
Would you say that was something that Ein did?
Yeah.
What, a normal dog thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost as if that's what they were going for.
No,
A
they
normal
weren't.
fucking
He
dog.
wasn't a normal dog, was he?
Anyways, what was your guys' favorite episodes?
The people on the Bounty Hunter TV show Big Shot are named Punch and Judy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I wanted to say Jesse and I was
James.
well, so that was the first thing
Jesse
that I
and
thought,
Uncle?
but then I was like it's Jesse and Slash or something.
I knew that one of them had a weird, like, not a normal name.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them had a normal name.
I love Judy's design. I
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
the male brain in me is like, of course you like it. I really like her design. Like with the vest and everything. That's so fucking cool, dude.
There was a meme circulating around, I think Facebook, maybe Twitter, of Judy and Punch is
Lil Nas X and Dolly Parton.
yes, the live action actors they wanted or that fans wanted to play them. Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
yeah, me too. Honestly,
I have 2 favorite episodes. So my speaking of Vicious, Jupiter Jazz. Those 2 episodes, the 2-part episode there. That was probably one of my favorite things because it was just super dark and it was very noir in that sense. Like of all the bars and all the towns she had to walk into mine, kind of like feel to them. The other one was Brain Scratch. Was the one where there was the cult. And you would upload, they'd kill you and upload your mind into like some video game console. I thought those were super fun. I think the Brain Scratch one was super fun just because it's just one of those like very future dystopia type things to do.
Yeah, I really liked that one too.
Highlights for me, I love the pilot. I think it's a perfect way to start the series.
Pilot was great.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I could, I would switch episode 5 with episode 1.
Really?
Because I feel like episode 5... So episode 5 is Ballad of Fallen Angels.
Yeah.
It's when we find out about Vicious.
Mm-hmm.
I think... And it's also when when Spike goes to the church and they have that fucking fight at the top of the church bell. And it has that iconic pose of Vicious almost stabbing him in the heart. And he's, pointing his gun up.
I was gonna say that that one is probably the one I like the best because of that.
Yeah, I could see that being a pilot episode as well.
Yeah, because it would have put Vicious like in your mind like
Way
right off
before.
the bat. But
I see why they did it, and
Yeah.
like the pilot works the way that it works, and I feel like it kind of set the tone for the series as a whole. Because like if you start out the gate with Ballad with that episode, it kind of sets a tone of like, where's the intrigue and everything. Whereas the pilot that we did get kind of set up for more of this like it's breathing room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To do whatever they want, go in any direction that they want,
Right.
which worked for them. Ganymede Elegy, I really like.
Elegy?
Elegy?
Elegy.
Thanks, Professor.
Elegy is elegy. Yeah.
Elegy.
No, it's not.
Elegy.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
I'm gonna say elegy.
So we're gonna say Elegy.
You go right ahead.
We're
And be
gonna
incorrect.
say.
That's fine.
We're gonna say.
Fucking idiot.
You
We're
fucking
gonna see it.
idiot.
We're gonna say Elegy, okay?
You can.
It's like,
yeah,
what's
go
that
ahead, go ahead.
Family Guy scene where he's like, I want a skull. Well, I'm gonna draw Kermit the Frog.
Toys in the Attic, I already said. That's the one where inspired by aliens.
Yeah,
they're all
that one.
infected.
That one was also one of my favorites.
Jupiter Jazz is really cool. It introduces that weird character named Gwen, right? Or Gwen? Something like that. It's
Gwen.
Is it Gwen?
I think it is, yeah.
That fought in the war with Vicious or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird character. Like with a super elaborate backstory. Like he went into about how he was a prisoner of war and they like were testing on him with experimental hormonal drugs, and that's why he has the body of a woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really weird, and what a weird episode too, is because it's right smack dab in the middle of this series.
Yep.
And we get a bunch of new stuff, like a bunch of new information, not only about Vicious, but also Julia. You know, this is when Julia was introduced as a character, you know, pretty much only just by name at this point.
Right.
But, yeah.
It almost made it feel like these were going to be ongoing characters.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I mean, I really, really do like the Cowboy Funk episode too, just because that's where we get our Teddy Bomber.
Yeah, and Andy.
And that was just so great. I mean, I did like Andy a lot, but I mean, even if Andy had not been there,
Teddy Bomber is still that
totally still would have loved it just for Teddy Bomber.
So the last 3 episodes have an unexpected tone with them as well. Like, what's the third to last episode?
Real Folk Blues Part 1.
No, that's 25. What's 24? Like Hard Luck Woman or something
whoops.
like that.
Okay, yeah, no, I see.
Hard Luck Woman.
Yeah, it's the episode where Ein and Edward go out on their own. Edward finds her father, right? And he makes like the father makes a joke like, "Thanks for keeping my son. Are you my daughter?" You know, like I thought it was.
I
really
just
funny.
love the ambiguity they throw in through the entire series with Ed.
It's there.
Whatever.
It's in that episode too where Faye runs into an old high school friend.
Yeah.
And she's old and she's like, "Yeah, no, I was in your graduating class and you look so you still look exactly the same. Oh, I forgot you were in cryostasis. I thought I'd seen a ghost for a minute." And then when the granddaughter comes in, she goes, "Well, I just wanted to meet." And then she was like, "A ghost. I'm a ghost. I'm going away now."
That was one thing when Eddie, now that you mentioned when she ran into her friend from high school, I remember because the first time I watched this show, I remember it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was on sale on the PlayStation Store for like $10, and it said full series, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I bought it, and then I found out there's only 1 season, so I'm like, well. I thought I was getting a steal. Like, I thought I was getting like a whole series.
Did.
I did.
Yeah.
But I thought that I was getting
Like
a season's worth for $10.
Yeah.
But then, I'm like, you know, this show has its reputation, so I'll watch it. And then I remember when that part came up, I just was like, it's weird for me to think that like these people like went to high school because like they're these crazy like space pirates that it's like, oh wait, you actually like went to school and like did all this like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and this episode is also like it was unexpected for me to be like as sad as I was about Ed leaving the ship, Ed and Ein leaving the ship for good, and so that was actually kind of rough. They just wander off, and
That was it.
So, years ago, when Cole and I first watched this series, I have an issue with like not finishing series, and Cole is like okay with like just like moving on to the next thing before finishing them. And I was like, okay, well no, I need to finish it. And so I went off and watched the last couple of episodes on my own, and I remember doing it at work and texting him, bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, you did the right thing, you got the good ending, you don't need to watch anymore. And so this watch through that he did recently was his first full.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So as the credits are rolling on the last episode, I'm like, so how you feeling? And he's like, yeah, it's deep. And I'm like, yeah, it fucking is.
So let's discuss the last 2 episodes.
I didn't want it to end, so I just never finished it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, I can't hate it if it never ends,
Right.
I don't know. The last 2 episodes are fucking great because it just it's like this steady build up to the build up. And then, we have this bombastic shootout at the end. And I don't know. If someone came up to me and was like, hey, I believe that Spike didn't die at the end of Cowboy Bebop, I wouldn't call him crazy.
That's how I feel about it.
I'd just be like, hey, I've seen him. You've seen crazier shit happen.
Right?
And it's anime, too. So it's like, is it really that far outside the bounds of possibility?
Well, and what's stopping Jet from throwing Spike in a fucking cryostasis,
right,
where they can repair whatever artery that...
I mean, if Mad Piro didn't kill him, I'm pretty sure he can make it out of just about anything.
I mean, in my head canon, he does die because Julia died, and I think that was his whole purpose was to go there and be like, hey, I just want to make sure that and it gets pretty, it waxes philosophical pretty hard with the I'm just going to see
if I'm alive,
if I'm even alive, because he really did never believe that he got out of.
And that's why I think that he's not dead. That's part of why. But to me, the whole series, the whole point of the series, and I watched this really interesting YouTube deep dive on it maybe a week ago, but the whole point of it is that all of these characters that are on the Bebop are stuck in time emotionally. There's some major thing they can't get past. And that's what keeps them coming back. That's what keeps them together. And that's why they're struggling. And that's why they're struggling throughout the entire series. And so the culmination of the series is them finally coming to terms with these things that they haven't been able to let go of. Like Julia with Spike, with Jet, it's his previous life as a cop and all of that. And, just with Faye, obviously, it's her missing memories, her childhood, all that. It's so... that's what the series leads up to, is them finally being free of this. Yeah. And I don't want to believe that ends in Spike's death.
Well, I mean, there's a movie, so you could totally take it as if, it's very obviously canon that it happens sometime before the ending of the show, but you could definitely interpret it as oh yeah, we're just back,
One thing that I wanted to point out that the creators of the Netflix adaptation,
they said it's a continuation.
Say that it's an expansion and a continuation of the story.
Yeah, they're not.
It's not a remake.
Adapting it to a live action series.
So they're Final Fantasy VII remaking it then.
So they said that it's not a remake. They said that it is an expansion and a continuation of the universe.
That's really cool, because now it means that we don't know what's going to happen in that.
Well, and that's the other thing too, because Hoes be mad that that Ed isn't showing up, at least in terms of what they've shown us already. And to me, if it's a continuation, that might make sense.
But Ein is...
Yeah, Ein is, but we don't know what's happened between, the end of that series and the beginning of this one.
Yeah.
So maybe they did meet back up. Maybe something happened to Ed, heaven forbid. But, so I guess we'll just have to see.
One of the things that I'm concerned about as far as the live action is concerned is how they're going to handle all of the, spacey flight moments.
I bet you don't see much of it. I think that's just the only way around it. Is like I
a
bet,
lot like old school Star Trek.
Yeah, I bet you just don't really see too much of it.
That would be a shame.
I mean, it's gonna be a bummer, but like I'm already sensing like mid budget for this, like not like super high budget, but like they're throwing enough money at it. Like the number one thing that I look at in that trailer, not that it's the opening sequence for Netflix, where I'm like, okay, they're kind of going budgety, but they're like trying to make it seem like it's cool for going budgety.
Yeah,
they did like it's very obviously John Cho like running in place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Why?
Yeah.
It looks first of all, it looks stupid, okay?
Yeah.
Like first and foremost, it looks dumb. So obviously you were going with some kind of stylistic choice, right?
Yeah.
Because like in the opening for the anime, there's a lot of running.
Right.
So like, but they only do it for that John Cho bit of that opening for Netflix. Like when they showed Jet running, he's actually running on like.
See, I thought that it looked like he was running in place too.
I don't know, but it's like I said, not a bad thing. It just is setting expectations for like where we're going in terms of budget, and I don't think CGI space. Like I don't think you're gonna see swordfish too much. Like I bet you'll see like the obligatory. You know, it's flying in to the fucking Bebop, or it's going down to a different planet. Like, you're gonna get all that. But in terms of, like, crazy, and I'm like, I'd love to be wrong. I definitely love to be wrong. But I just don't really see, because, dude, CGI is fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Especially doing it the way
good
that...
CGI.
Good CGI is expensive as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It really just depends on how they... I'm going into it with, like, this really, really open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's the great thing about Bebop is that it is finished and great and untouchable, in my opinion. Like, almost nothing that they can do can ruin the legacy of this anime because it's already so fucking great by itself.
Yeah, it's such an established product.
So, when they come over here, and I'm going to make a bold claim. I bet we get 5 episodes of this Netflix anime. We don't even get up to the point where we would meet Ed. We just meet, like... We do the first couple episodes, obviously. We do the one with the guy that's addicted to red eye and the pregnant woman. And the pilot. And then the second episode is the one that we find Ein.
But again,
it's not a
reboot.
It's
not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's
but that's just gobbledygook as far as I'm concerned. Because I can't. Because what does that even fucking mean? You're re-establishing it. What does that even mean?
They said it's a continuation. So something.
Okay, our main character is dead. So how do we continue?
Says you.
Well. That's why I just don't understand what the fuck that even means.
Obviously, none of us know, but what they're actually gonna do.
I don't know.
But still,
and like, how do we have Ein with no Ed? Like, I just why give us all this confusing bullshit? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, are you remaking it or are you fucking not? It doesn't. No, we're recontextualizing, and like, what the fuck what are you even talking about? Don't complicate this. It's simple for a
rearranging
reason.
the parameters of the continuum.
Well, like, why complicate it? It already makes sense. It's already fucking great.
So
like, we don't need to build up on this.
That is not the continuum functional.
So if you want to hear about our opinions about the live action series,
subscribe to our Patreon.
If you want to hear a lot of butt sex talk too.
Yeah. All in all.
Or lack thereof, I guess I should say.
Yep. The failed butt sex.
Yeah. Ratings. Overall ratings. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. I give this a 4 out of 5, honestly. I think that this show is very well made. It holds up even after almost 20 years. I think that this is probably one of the best animes that I've seen so far. I think The music is phenomenal. The emotional work on all of these characters is very important to what this whole series is. And it's definitely going to be one of those things where I can see myself being like, oh, I want to watch something quick, chill. I'm going to throw Bebop on. So 4 out of 5 for me.
I would say 4 out of 5 as well. The only thing that I would like more, just because of my personality, I really enjoy more of a solid continuity, contiguous storylines, things happening in previous episodes affect things going on in future episodes. I really kind of prefer that style, that method of storytelling. So that's and I get that that's part of the charm of the show, but it's just one of those things that kind of still affects how I view the show. But yeah, definitely 4 out of 5. I feel like it's kind of like an anime version of Firefly with some noir sort of stuff in
that's
there.
That's not a bad comparison at all. No, that's not a bad comparison at all.
But yeah, and so I really dig it. It's definitely something that I could see myself watching, going through and doing a watch through every now and then as well.
After having watched it again, I'm probably gonna go 4.5. I remember this specific show being one of the first ones that I watched on my first animes that I watched on my own volition, because before my only experience with anime years ago was I was dating a girl who was into it, and
the way you said anime.
I don't know how to fix the way I call it.
No. It was just
I'm gonna do the best I can.
I was thinking of the
version of
what is it on where Will Ferrell's I don't know how to fix my. How should I fix my
that's
face?
what we were talking about. Okay. I'm gonna take that into consideration and do
the best version of what I think that would be. Can't even hear you now. I just face.
But I was because I was dating a girl who would watch it, and she kind of got me into watching it, and then like I said, I bought this on the PlayStation Store years ago and watched it, and then I've watched it maybe again after that, and then just recently again. But yeah, with it being one of the ones that I watched that early on, I did really enjoy it, and I thought it was. I don't remember much from the second time that I watched it, but Eddie was saying, how everything was still popping up fresh to him after he recently watched it. It was kind of doing the same thing for me. So,
I mean, what more else can I say? 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, if not the greatest, one of the greatest anime of all fucking time, no question,
absolutely,
no debate. This is one of the best anime. It's the best. Whenever shut the fuck up. Whenever anybody says hey, where do I go? I want to get into anime. I'm like, dude, Bebop. Bebop is the best fucking representation of anime, in my personal opinion. And it really, there's not much better than Bebop.
If there were an anime Olympics and Cowboy Bebop were competing, they would have been given a gold medal. That is my rating.
Yeah, I figured. Well, we've all... It definitely, if you're... Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Man, and that, this is going backwards for just a second, but man, that dialogue between Spike and Faye in that last episode too, that's ugh.
Yeah,
it's rough.
God damn.
If you're looking to get into anime, yes, Bebop is the way to go. Cowboy Bebop.
One season, 26 episodes.
Honestly, super digestible.
2 days for me.
Yeah, same. It's amazing. It is heart-wrenching. It is funny. It is well written, well animated. The action scenes are absolutely amazing. There is nothing that I can't say that would ruin this anime's reputation. So go ahead and check it out. That does it for our Cowboy Bebop episode. We hope you liked it. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcorp Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search the Nerd Corporation and look out for our green NC logo.
And if you want to hear a lot of weird sex talk about Mormons and things, subscribe to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Nerdcorp Podcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extra content and bonus episodes. We'd like to thank our Nerd Corporate backers, Glenn the Simp, Fillmore McLaurin, and making his return, Jake Hurst.
Hey!
The boy.
And our Nerd Financial investors, Kim Nichols and Dallin Gilbert.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Fillmore. Thank you, Mom.
We love you guys.
But not Dallin.
No, fuck you, Dallin.
Oh, did I not say Dallin?
No, you did not.
Thank you, Dallin.
Dallin Gilbert.
I'm sick. Give me a break. Fuck.
Mort.
Does he appreciate us?
Yeah, he will.
I'm his favorite, remember?
Yeah, you are. If you can't make a monthly contribution, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/Nerdcorp Podcast. We want to have the best loot, best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that is the best way to do that. So for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Nick Lewis.
I'm Derek Reese.
And I'm Angela Wooden.
Keep it nerdy, y'all. Bork.
Mort.